Okay. Okay. The characteristics of successful entrepreneur. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, you must possess some characteristics or features or the qualities, characteristics which make you successful. So the first characteristic of successful entrepreneur is hardworking. You have to be hard worker. If you are not hardworking, you will not be able to run a successful business because initially you have to work very hard. It is not the job from 9 to 5. You have to work even the weekend. You have to work. You see, long hours and short holidays are typical for many
Yeah.
entrepreneurs to make the business successful. If you are not hardworking and if you are not doing the extra effort, if you are not doing, then what will happen? This business may not be successful, and maybe after some time you have to drop the idea. So, if you are want to be successful entrepreneur, you have to be very hardworking person. And another advantage is, another characteristic is, if you want to be a successful business, successful entrepreneur, then you have to be risk taker. If you always think that I may fail, I may not be successful, then you cannot run the business. So you have to be risk taker. If there is a risk, if there is a loss, initial stage, then you have to bear it. You have to be consistent. You have to continue your effort. So if there is a loss, if you cannot take the risk, you cannot be a successful entrepreneur. You see, making decision to produce goods and services that people might buy in potentially risky. So if you are running a business and you're making a decision to producing a goods and services, and if you are thinking that people may buy, people may not buy. So if you're thinking in that way, of course, before that you have to do some research and you have to you do your homework before producing the goods and services. But once you have decided, then stick on it. Don't think that they may buy or they may not buy. But if you are in indifference and you don't have self confidence, or you don't have if you don't want to take risk, then you cannot do the business and you may not be successful. Okay, so to be a successful businessman, you have to take risk. Another very good, a very important advantage that are the characteristics of successful entrepreneur is creative. You have to be creative. You have to make new and new ideas. A new business needs new ideas about product, service, ways of attracting customer to make it different from existing firms. So you have to offer something new, something different, which other business are not offering. In this way only you can make your business successful. So this is you have to be creative. Always you have to think that what are the new ways you can give to your customer. And then another characteristics is optimistic. That means you have to think positive. That means looking forward to a better future is essential. If you think only of failure, you will fail. Okay, so you always think. Don't think about the failure, but think about the success. Think about the success. So if
Yeah.
in between, if you may find some hurdles, you may find some risks, maybe you may have some failure, but just you have to be consistent. You continue, and you should have to be positive. The one of the richest or the very famous business entrepreneur, that is Alibaba. Honor to Alibaba. I think his name is Jack Ma. So he
Yeah.
was actually
Yeah.
he once he told that he applied many times for ordinary jobs, or maybe he applied in KFC or some other people. He was not successful, and he was thinking that he cannot do a job, but he continuously start keeping the doing the work again and again, continue. And how many times he tried, and ultimately he became successful. And he tried to take admission in in the Howard, but
In
he,
Harvard.
he have,
Yes. He
yes,
got
Howard.
rejected like 10 times.
10 times for rejected. But
Yeah,
now,
yeah.
after the successful entrepreneur, then recently, Harvard University, they gave him an honorary degree of, I don't know what is that, maybe PhD or something, but
Oh,
for the graduation degree gave him without studying there because of his work
wow.
internationally. So the thing is,
Yeah.
you have to be optimistic. So if you're
Hmm.
looking forward to a better future, essential, then it is not once you start doing the work, you'll be successful. But you have to, I mean, you have to be a failure. Is the, I mean, if you have become fail and fail, doesn't it mean that you become a fail in the future as well? That is, some people say that if you are failing one time, two time, three time, actually you are stepping up one by one to the towards your success. But you have to whenever fail, you have to think about it, why you are fail, what are the reason, then you correct it, and again you start working. Ultimately the time will come and you will be successful. So but
Yeah.
for that you have to be optimistic. And another very important point is self confidence. You should have self confidence. You can do it, you can do it. You have to remind yourself. Being self confident is necessary to convince other people to your skills, and and to convince bank, other lenders, and customer that your business is going to be successful. I mean, if you are not self confident to yourself, how can you convince to other people? So first you have to be self confident. You have to be very self uh, confident and self reliance. Then only you can. You have to be self in yourself. Then only you can convince other people. Like convince to bank to give you a loan, to convince other lenders. Lenders means people from you are getting the loan, and you have to convince the customer as well that your time will come and you will be successful. So that is another important characteristic of self-confidence. And then another thing is uh, innovative. Innovative again, very close to creative. I mean, you have to be. I mean, you have to come with a new idea. Creative actually means you are beginning idea with your own. But innovative means maybe somewhere else is their idea and you are taking it and then you are putting it into it, and maybe it is from your own. So being able to put new ideas into practice in interesting and different ways is also important. So you have to be innovative, always putting in new and new ideas. That is a very important characteristic of successful entrepreneur. Then another uh, characteristic is independent. Independent actually, you should not rely to anyone. If someone will come and they can do a job, no. You have to be self sufficient. Like entrepreneurs will often have to work on their own before they can afford to employ others. Sometimes, if you are starting a business, you're most of the thing you're doing your own. And if
Yeah.
okay, then when it's successful, then when you're spending a bit, then you can employ one person, two-person, three-person, four-person. But initially, you have to, most of the thing you have to do your own. Entrepreneur must be well motivated and be able to work without any help. That is independent. You don't have to rely that somebody will come and they will do it, then you can do. No. You have to be ready to do any work. That is independent. Another one is good, effective communicator. Effective communicator means, what do you mean by communication? Communication means transferring the ideas. Suppose if I am communicating with you, I know, if I can communicate, if you can transfer the idea into your mind, or to you, that is communication. Otherwise, it's not communication. So being a successful entrepreneur, so you have to be very effective communicator. Effective means, suppose what you are saying, other will understand what you are saying. If other are not able to understand what you are saying, that actually means, if you are not able to convince the other people, then you are not effective communicator. So being a successful entrepreneur, you have to be effective communicator. So talking clearly, confidently to the bank, other lenders, customer, and government agencies about the new business will raise the profile of the new business. That means if you are effective communicator, that can you can talk confidently with the bank, and the if you are asking for someone else to lend you money, that is also, and the customer. That means what you are saying, what ideas you have in your mind, you are able to communicate to them. Like, your if you want to communicate some ideas, so you should know how to present it. Maybe you are using a PowerPoint presentation, maybe you are using the graph, maybe you are using the chart, maybe you are using a different data, and maybe you are using a very effective skills, maybe a very good language you are using. So many things are there which can communicate effectively to the people. If they are convinced, only they will then they will provide you loan, or they will invest in your business. Otherwise, they will not. So these are the characteristics of successful entrepreneur. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can just